Welcome to Two Guys on a Porch. I'm Jason. This is Bradford. As always, we have Kimber with us. Here we are on our Porch Pick Edition. Here we are in the holiday season.
You said that without messing up.
Yeah, then you stopped me. I was on a roll there. So we are doing our Porch Pick Edition, and it's the holiday season. It's cold outside. You're going over to people's house. You want to bring a Christmas present. So what do? You want to bring a nice bottle of something, but you're not sure what to get. We're here for you on our Porch Pick. What do we have, Bradford?
Well, we're going to look at a couple of different options, 3 different options. And the idea is we want to talk about something that matches any budget. So we've got an inexpensive pick, kind of a mid-price, and then we've got an expensive pick. And a recommendation I would make, we brought 3 things that we have some awareness of, we like. I've given one of these as a gift before. But the idea is it needs to represent something a little bit about you. People
Right.
look, I think I've experienced, oh, you're the whiskey guy. So they think I'm going to bring something, and I'm happy to accommodate. But then there's also the element of what do they like? And an example I thought of is if somebody's a big Woodford fan, you can get them a standard bottle for $30. If you're thinking mid-price, you get them the Woodford Double Oaked for $50 to $60. And if you've got the budget for it, you get them the Woodford Baccarat, which comes with the crystal glasses, which are super nice. But that's $2,000.
Yeah.
So
And plus, it's kind of bland. You want to do something different. Maybe everybody's heard of Woodford Reserve, so maybe you do something different and more personal.
which is kind of our idea. So you kind of match to either what they really like or some things that you think are really cool they may not have experienced. And I think we've got that in every case. On the low end here, on the least expensive, we've got something we've tried before on the show, but it's kind of what I call the bartender's choice. It's the Benchmark Foolproof. Benchmark is literally bottom shelf. If you go into a liquor store, that's where it's going to be. And they have a number of different, choices. They've got bottled and bond. But this is the one bartenders will typically recommend, and it's great for mixing old fashions, that type of thing, because you're still going to get that signature bourbon flavor in whatever it's mixed in. It's 125 proof.
But this is our cheap pick. This is less than $30.
$22 a bottle.
$22. You can't beat that. It's got a wonderful nose. It's got that typical floral nose. It has a good oak taste to it, and it's not the smooth finish of a Pappy, but for $22, you can't beat this finish. This is a great finish. I would dare say you could drink this neat. This is a great cheap bottle. If you were going, what are the best bottles under $30? This is one of them right here. It's good stuff.
To that point, when we were talking about this prior to filming last night, I poured a glass and thought it needs some watering down, some tamping down, because it is a higher proof. It doesn't have the finish that some of the better things we've had, like a Coy Hill or a Willet. So I put a nice cube of ice, let it melt down a little bit, made it great.
I agree with that. You can taste that heat in the long finish of it all. You feel that going down a little bit.
Now, for our second choice, and this is the beauty of gift giving, you get the opportunity for someone else to experience what you have. So a few weeks back, I had an opportunity to try Leiper's Fork, which is a local to Middle Tennessee whiskey. This is their wheated bottled and bond. Now, it's what we would call, higher wheat. It's not a wheated whiskey.
Right. So still 51% corn or
that's
more.
Right. That's right.
But that one of the other elements is wheat in it.
Yeah. So in their bottled and bond, they do both a higher rye and then a higher wheat. This is their wheat. Yeah. I love this.
Yeah,
it is
you
so
like wheated
good.
bourbons. That's your thing.
And you've not had this before.
No,
so I'm
not.
really excited for you to get a chance to taste it.
Yeah. Something special about bottled and bond. That 100 proof, aged, just something magical about bottled and bond. I don't know what it is, but something comes together with that. It's interesting that back in the day that they in the government regulating alcohol, that they decided these were the parameters for it, for bottled and bond, aged at least 4 years, 100 proof. So it's something magical about it.
We've done an episode on bottled and bond that didn't get a lot of viewership, which was not the fault of the whiskey. I'm sure it was ours. Happy to go back and do more bottled and bond because you're absolutely right. For whatever reason, flavor profile on it is fabulous.
It is.
And this in particular, man, have you had a chance?
Yeah, I just took my first drink of it. You don't get overwhelmed with the wheat. My problem, I prefer wheated whiskeys or wheated bourbons as well. Some of them are too bready. This one is a nice balance. You don't taste, with the problem with rye, it can be a little too spicy sometimes. This has that good wheat taste to it. It's not too bready, very smooth. Nice upgrade from the benchmark that we just had. This is very smooth. Not as much of a nose to it, but it's a very much a smoother drinking bourbon.
Yeah, and the weather may impact the nose more than anything because I have had this before, and it does have a lovely nose.
We're literally on the porch. We always are on the porch, almost always on the porch, and it's a cold day here in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't think it's 40 degrees yet, and here we are.
No.
Now, price point on this is about $80, so we're in the mid-range there. Yeah, absolutely.
Worth it.
And we've talked about Jack Daniel's bonded before. We've compared this with a couple of friends with mixed results. So it kind of goes back to a $40 bottled and bond from Jack versus this. You're apples to apples almost.
That would be a good episode to put these head to head because Jack Daniel's Bottled and Bond was one of our favorites. This, I think, we give a run for its money.
Our producer doesn't want us to drink anymore.
I know. We go back to our Huff Daddy leads us in a good way, but Jack Daniel's Bonded was one of our favorites. But this would be a good one to compare it to. This next one is Balvenie 21-year-old Portwood. This is one of my favorites. I originally, just going through the one of the stores, was looking for a single malt Scotch, but I didn't want to pay $2,000 for it like a Macallan 25-year-old. This is much more reasonable. It's around $250, $300. But it's 21-year-old age. It's when it's been finished in port cask, so it's made traditionally, traditional made Scotch, single malt in the oak barrels, but finished in port cask, and it's aged 21 years. So for juice that's been aged 21 years, this is quite the deal. This is something, if you bring it to a person's house, 21 years, that's pretty good. It's not cheap, and like I said, it's $250, $300, something like that. But it's impressive that it's been aged 21 years. I think you'll like it.
Yeah, and part of the reason we selected this is accessibility. Super aged Scotch is much easier to find right now than super aged bourbons.
Yeah.
So you do pay more for it. I mean, you are in the $250.
But you can get it. You can walk in.
You walk in any store, you can find Macallan 18 or 25 or any of the Balvenie super aged. And all Scotch, by the way, you're not going to find anything. You'll have some non-age statement because demand did pick up. But most is 10-year, 12-year.
Yeah.
It's when you hit the 18-year that you're in the super aged. And the reason that it can age that long without really getting it over oaked is because they use used barrels. So it's getting hints of flavor that even after 30 years is still subtle but perfect.
They also don't have the barrel evaporation. They're in a much more humid atmosphere, and so it can sit in the barrel without losing the volume like you do typically here in the South.
So, to your point, I have had this before. I'm a big fan of all the Balvenie. By the way, there are 37 Balvenie products. So if you're inclined to be a collector, you can collect anything, but it's hard to get everything. And this is a perfect example of, I love the Balvenie, and you'd have to chase 37 different expressions to get what you want.
This is a great expression. Something they finish it in those port barrels really ends it up nicely. This is great. It's one of my favorite Scotches right here. So here we are on the porch again, porch picks. Hopefully this helps you in your holiday gift giving or just a housewarming gift. Warming is the key word on this cold day in Tennessee. Come back and join us, Two Guys on a Porch.
Cheers. Please like and subscribe, rate, all the stuff you do on all the social media platforms. Thanks, guys.
Let us know what your drink and cigar of choice is at TwoGuysOnAPorch.com, and you'll be entered into a drawing to get some Two Guys on a Porch swag